I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love like this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV. We have just watched the England ladies end up conquering Europe and possibly the world. Do you know what I mean?
No, not the world.
Not the world just yet. Not the US of A. But I've got to my right Mitchell, who's looking less red than he did last week. Bottom right is Lucas, who's looking like he's back in the 90s. And I've got West Ham Online also in below me. Right, let's get into it. We talked about left backs last night, and Kostic doesn't want to come to us now. Mitch, take it away, mate.
It's a disappointing revelation. But I saw one source last hour, Alfredo Buella, what his name is, say that apparently he could be interested again now. So, look, I don't know what to make of it. Apparently that source spoke to Scamacca News first, so I don't know. But it'd be interesting, but I think that's, I don't know why we keep going for Kostic now. I think, because X said this morning and last night that Moyes still wants to get him, he's still going to keep trying. I understand that, but if a player doesn't want to come and he said, no, I'm staying here, we should just fucking move on and not keep forcing it for a player that doesn't want to come to us when there's plenty other good options out there. Cornet's the first one that comes to mind. But a left back is so important. And now that Rams has signed for Leipzig, I think Angelino would be a great signing if we could get him for like, I don't know, 25, 30 million. It'd be pricey, but I think he'd be very good.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I don't know what's about your mic, Mitch, but I can hear you like sort of like whether you got to push the mic further.
It's crackling just a little bit.
Yeah,
if you just turn it on and off, you should be good.
Yeah, Lucas Kostic, your Balkan brother. He don't fancy the East End for some reason. What's going on?
I mean,
how's that?
It makes better. Yeah,
sweet.
I mean, I guess in his given situation, his contractual situation, it makes sense for him. He might as well just play Champions League and then go on a free next summer. Oh, bloody fucking fly. I'm going to kill it. I'm going to kill it midstream. Just watch. But, yeah, he's got Champions League. He's already making some decent money. And then next season, he'll be a free agent. He'll sign on for some big money where probably another Champions League club may look at him as an option. So really it's a win-win for him. I would say it's just annoying how we don't do it often, but whenever we flash big money at players, it's a shame that it doesn't work for us when there's other situations where we want them to flash the money and they don't. And it's whatever. I mean, we just really need to get back in the war. In America for the NFL, when they do a draft, we call it the war room. So that's like the transfer room. We need to get back in the war room. We got to find a replacement ASAP because, like I said last night, there's not a lot of time left where we can really find our ideal left back. We're approaching closer and closer where we need a body more than we need the ideal player. So we need to get on that ASAP.
Yeah, I agree. Before I move on to West Ham Online, I heard you say about Angelino. But Richard says here that Angelino can't defend, which is true.
He's not. He can defend. He's just not the best defender in the world. But I think our problems are more so attacking nowadays, mate. I think at the moment it looks like, especially in the second half of last season and in pre-season, we're really struggling to string like 3 passes together going forward. And I think Angelino would be significantly good for that, and he's a top class cross of the ball. And for me, that's a big thing for me. And he's young. He's quite young still. He's 25. No, I don't worry about the defending aspect too much because I think the way we play will incorporate him really well. The fact, unless we had like someone bombing down the wing all the time, then I don't think he'd be the idealist of left backs. But because we've got someone like Ben Ram or Fornals on the left side, he'd be really good at overlapping them players, I think.
West Ham Online, Kostic, thoughts?
It's a shame. in my opinion, he would have been perfect, as we discussed so many times.
Mhm.
He's a great crosser of the ball, and he would have been perfect for Scamacca as well. It's unfortunate because I look at the other alternatives and I'm hearing names like Luke Thomas, who is nowhere near Kostic's level. Cornet, even as a wing back, is nowhere near Kostic's level either. I think the only one that I want is Sosa.
Well, I'm not convinced. And I'm not sure who told me this, but someone said it. I think it was James from the Anvil said he's another Mazuaku 2.0. Good going forward, but he can't defend. But what we do need, if we're going to get a left back, we need a left back who can defend first. Let's be real. There's no point having a left back who can't defend. Otherwise, we've just got the same
I'd
situation.
rather a left back that was better going forward, mate. I'm not gonna lie.
So if that is the case, then why isn't Ben Johnson just put over there? Because he's all right going
he can't
Ben
forward.
go
Johnson's terrible.
forward.
I think Ben Johnson's terrible going forward.
I agree. I think he's
I think
rubbish.
he can't. I think his crossing's absolutely abysmal. He's not the quickest of players. I don't think
The only
he's good at going
way
forward at
for
all.
me he gets forward up the pitch is if he plays a 1-2 with somebody, but he can't dribble past anyone. He's not going to take the ball up the field. The only way he's going to get up the field is if he's running without the ball. And it's a sad because Aaron Cresswell can't even do that. If Aaron Cresswell could just get up the pitch without the ball, we'd be kind of
a lot better.
Yeah, but
A lot better.
we seem to not have anyone that can get up the pitch with the ball, and that's what I think we're lacking.
So it says here, they are talking about their arse, James. Sosa will be quality. Well, I'm just hearing what someone's told me, mate. So you know what I'm saying. Obviously,
I would love Sosa. I mean,
I would love Sosa.
I'll take any Balkan boy.
Moyes would love him as well because he's tall. I was thinking about it this morning as well. Like Moyes only likes tall players. He don't like small players, and I heard about it before that. Moyes only likes signing taller players. And I thought about it. How many small players has he signed? Really, that was his signings. He didn't want Ben Rama in the first place, so I'm writing him off.
Yeah.
He was addicted to Lingard, Mitch, and he's not blessed with height genetics.
Yeah, but what is he? 5'10", Lingard. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, he's not tallest.
Bowen's small, only.
Yeah, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? So,
I think maybe defensively you don't. As you said, I saw something before that you don't want a small left back, and this was a while ago. I think maybe 7 months ago, where I saw if he was going to sign a left back, he'd have to be a taller one.
Yeah. So obviously, excuse me, we spoke last night about left back situation. I'll be honest, straight after reflecting from last night, I couldn't believe the amount of shit I was hearing. I really couldn't. I'm being truthfully honest. People will criticise Cresswell 1 week, and then they want him to stay in the team and say, "Oh, we can't find better than Cresswell." And something that you said last night, that you relayed to Scott last night, Mitch, that Scott turned around and said that it seems like Cresswell is like the Messiah or something. That people are so worried that we can't get a better player than Cresswell. Now, I know people say about Luke Thomas. But are these the same people that said about Craig Dawson many moons ago? They said about, can't have Craig Dawson at our club. I was one of them.
It's a bit different with left back. I think it's a very different situation with left back, though. I think as a centre back, you only need to know to defend, especially. And Dawson ain't a first teamer. We need a first team left back that can really transform our left hand side because they need to be able to go forward really well because our left side attacking wise is really piss poor.
See, I agree with what Ryan says here, yeah? Ryan's got a point. Cresswell can cross and that's it.
But he can't cross from open play.
I think Cresswell's passing is quite good, personally.
Yeah, but it's okay to keep playing it sideways and back, but when does he really do a productive pass? Like yesterday, I see Andrew Robinson, for Liverpool. He's in Liverpool's attacking third. He's even in their box. Like in Manchester City's box. I'm thinking Cresswell
I want that.
Get there.
I would love that. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I agree, mate, 100%.
So, for me, and I come to you, West Ham Online, are these people that are sort of criticising Cresswell, are they going to change their tune once he starts performing bad again?
Sorry, can I address Ryan's what he just said here quickly? Because he said you can't cost him open play. This is Luton game. That is the first time in the last year, I'm pretty sure, where he's got an assist from open play. By the way, and that's because fucking Luton are a simple club. He can't do it in the Premier League games because it gets closed down too quick and he's too predictable. So there you go.
Yeah.
Abash.
But
What was the question again, Joe?
West Ham Online. Cresswell. Will people batter him if he starts performing the way he did last year?
Well, yeah, I've said since the 2 red cards, I said in the space, I don't think they were coincidences personally. Some people seem to think they were. I don't. I think he's genuinely lost his pace, and I've never thought he's had the best footballing IQ defensively. He always looks like a bit of a headless chicken at the back post. And then 2 red cards was evident of that. I like Cresswell. I think he's a good passer. He's a good crosser. I don't think he's as bad as some people think, but definitely we need a new left back. And the Rangers game just reminded me of it because he just looks like sort of like what Gary Neville was at the end of his career, where Gary even admitted he was just a second too late to everything, and that seems to be Cresswell in the last 6 months.
Yeah, he's not a bad footballer. No, he's definitely not a bad footballer. He's just not good enough at the things we need in the club.
Lucas,
The things we need down left hand side: energy, pace, more. What's the word? More. We need to be quicker. We need to be quicker. We need to be quicker to build up play. We need to be quicker, like bombing up forward. A bit how I know Bowen and Soufal sometimes rush it, especially Soufal going forward, but a bit more of what Soufal and Bowen do, where they're a bit quicker to get down that right hand side. I think we need a bit more of that on the left hand side.
Need more intuition. Like need more. Not like pep in the step, but need more energy. And Cresswell just does not provide any positive energy. I would say, I would like. I don't know. The way I see the rest of the window going, I really don't see us I know a lot of people want a left winger as well, but I can't see us getting a left back and a left winger. So really, Kostic would have been so perfect for us because he literally could play down the whole left flank.
I am thinking Cornet now at this point.
Yeah, and I think Maxwell Cornet, if we still want to go that direction, he's the next best option. And even Dwight McNeil for me, I know a lot of people don't, or I won't say don't, but didn't rate the idea. But I mean, he does the same thing as Cornet, but a bit faster, a bit more flary, creative. He's gone. Cornet should probably be the next option up, just because he can do the same role as Kostic. I would probably say Kostic is a better defender, but at this point we need a creative left back, and not that Aaron Cresswell isn't creative. He just can't get up the pitch.
He can't defend.
You got to get up the pitch.
I've got to admit as well, I think if we were to continue with 4-2-3-1, Cornet would be perfect on the left-hand side going forward as well, because I remember when Burnley came to us and they drew 1-1 at London Stadium, and he absolutely battered Ben Johnson that game, apart from his crap penalty.
And as much as I love Pablo Fornals, him playing left winger is such a constraint on our play style. It really is.
But don't you find, though, Lucas, it's like square pegs and round holes again with West Ham?
Yeah, but again, we almost have to, because his Pablo Fornals' work rate's so good. Aaron Cresswell can't get up the pitch, and when he gets caught out, he takes 15 years to get back to defend. And when he does get back, he concedes to someone behind him. It's so annoying. It's literally like clockwork. But Maxwell Cornet, to me, has to be the next man up if we want to pursue someone who plays like Kostic or can play down the whole left-hand flank.
Oh, I want to ask this question, from Raider. It says Cresswell is brain dead. 1 red card, forgiven. 2 brain dead, doesn't learn. Cost us big time, and I wouldn't have him wear the shirt again.
I wouldn't go that far.
Can I just say?
I wouldn't go that far.
I just want to say this quickly. I remember the player ratings that we done after the Frankfurt game. Remember it clear as day. I've got it saved, and I watch that game. I do go back and watch them player ratings, right? And I went back and watched it last night, the amount of people that said Cresswell can't be our left back in the new season is unbelievable. And it just seems like to me that we're forgetting what the man done last year. Like, he got away with it against Leon, yeah. And
to be fair to him, it wasn't a red card, but
It wasn't-
he still put himself in. He still put himself in that position.
He put himself in that position to get sent off.
Yeah.
But the Frankfurt game, that is clueless defending. Like, this is, if he was 19 years old or 21 years old, we can understand it. Inexperienced. This man's 32, 33. He should know how to control the situation. I think sometimes people forget that. I really do.
I do agree with Lucas's point. I was just going to say, because literally everyone in the fan base, including me, said Cresswell's red against Leon was never a red. But then we all sort of use it as part of the argument for why he's not good enough. Like, he isn't good enough, but I just found that interesting how we all grouped that in with it. But at the time, we all said it wasn't a red.
It wasn't a red, but he's put himself in a situation to get a red, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I'm saying? If you're going to put yourself in a situation there, and let's be honest, if he's Dembele was a clever striker, and he bought the free kick, or I think it was at the time, and got Cresswell sent off, and Cresswell should have learnt his lesson from Leon and thought, right, I can't do that again.
Hammerhead, he's got to be through. He's got to be through and clearly on goal, which Dembele was not. He was on the right hand side of the box. I don't constitute that as through on goal.
See, Mitch, you're in my camp with Cresswell, right? And you're in the camp of when you was hearing things last night. You turned around and said, "I can't believe what I'm hearing." Like, it's like people have completely forgotten the last 18 months.
I understand what people were saying. I understood what people were saying last night. I don't think there was anything that was extremely controversial. I just personally disagreed with it. I think people have got different ways of thinking about the situation. I think the way which I personally disagree with is that people say we've got a month left, and that is where I'm pissed off with, because a lot of left backs are being sold now, which we could have done with. That Tyrone Malacia, whatever his name is, gone to United. I think is a good left back. Wynndale, that's gone to Ajax. We was linked to him, but we do want to pay the money, and that was like 15 million or something. Cheap as chips. Ram's gone. These players are going, and we're saying we've got a month left, but now we've got 5 games up to then. They're going to have to be incorporated into the team as well. At 7 games where we're going to potentially have to play Cresswell.
And you're even forgetting about the playoff.
That's a fifth of the season, mate. That's a fifth of the
season.
The
conference playoff. That's in there and all.
Mate, exactly, and I think maybe and a cup game as well. There'll be a cup game in there as well. So we're talking 8 or 9 games.
Again, that's why our window is running out. Like, everyone
don't get that.
People seem to forget that Moyes literally beds these guys in for like almost a month and a half before they really start like being a first team player, and people are just like, oh, we'll get them at the end of the window. Like, I don't agree with that.
I get what you're saying, but I don't want to say that it's a myth that Moyes beds players in, because it's not. But I do think that it's been overdone a little bit.
There's only one player that he hasn't bedded in from far as I've watched, and it was Lingard, which I was still shocked about.
No, but Soufal came. First game he was available, he started against Leicester away. Ben Rama, he bedded in, but he never rated them.
When you say Soufal started, we had no right back other than Ryan Fredericks, and he was crap.
What the fuck has just fallen off there?
So,
yeah, but he was a 5 million buy from Slavia Prague. There was no guarantee he'd be better than Fredericks.
True, but then you've got to look at the other side of the coin. You've got to look at Areola that he's persisted with.
That's a good point.
You've got to look at Ben Rama, who he's persisted with. Other players that he's that's come into this club. So,
and I'll be quite honest, betting in a goalkeeper is a bit ridiculous to me.
I understand
this. I just think he rates Fabianski more. I just think that's what it is.
Before I will get to that comment, get to that sort of topic shortly, but I don't get this bedding in stuff. Like last night when we were speaking about it, the people that keep using this word time all the time, we've got to give him time. We've got to give him time. Like, and my famous line is, if I want time, I buy a watch. Like, these players are professional footballers. They do this for a living. They don't need to be bedded in. They don't need to be bedded in. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, but
I
do you not
disagree.
think if players? I don't know. I don't think I do agree because in the game now, tactics are so advanced that if a player comes in and doesn't know the intricate movements that everybody else follows, even in our pressing, for example, then they'll be off of it a little bit and everything can go wrong. So I do sort of get the bedding in if it's only a few
I don't-
games like what it
I
was.
don't
They
with
train
Bowen,
every
for
day, though.
example.
I don't agree with how long it takes for Moyes to get someone bedded in. Like it shouldn't take a month and a half. It should take 3 weeks.
I don't even think it should take that, Lucas. If they're
But does it take a
top
month
quality
and a half?
players,
But that's unrealistic.
yeah, but if they're top quality players, well, we're not buying people from like the National League or League One or something.
But then we'd be saying Scamacca should, in the first month that he's here, scores 4 goals.
Yeah.
I think that's unrealistic.
I wouldn't say
Right.
score 4 goals, but he should start the games.
He should start against City without a doubt.
Yeah,
The person we've got right now.
he
I
should
dunno.
start, but at the same time, like if he doesn't need betting in, then I expect 4 goals.
Yeah, but do you
in the
not
month.
think that's risky? The bloke's
It is.
never ever played with anyone.
That's
we've
why
got.
I'm saying players
But
need to get betted
when
in,
do you
but
play
not
him?
take a month and a half.
You probably sub him on once or twice, like what it was with Bowen. A couple more weeks of training, maybe even sub him for Man City and then start him at Forest. I think even that would be better.
Yeah, but when
I
you,
don't know.
when I keep, I just want to say this, Mitch, yeah? When you keep saying about give them time and bed them in and all that, I really just don't understand that because I look at other teams, yeah, they're not bedding their players in. Like, I'm not being funny. People say that about Haaland or Nunes or someone
Jesus.
of
Yeah, but if you give
Jesus.
them
you know what I
game
mean?
time and
they've
they
all
do
had it
nothing,
pre-season.
if you give them game time and they don't do anything, people are going to get on their backs.
Yeah, but they've
Yeah.
all them players that you mentioned have had a pre-season, and they can get a bed in then because nobody cares about the result, so they're all going to get game time.
Yeah, but
That's
I
a
don't
fair
think
point.
there's a lot of players that hit the ground running. Like,
how do you mean?
just like we want Scamacca to start, but what's the point of him starting if he doesn't know the system? He doesn't know how our players move. He
Yeah.
doesn't have a relationship with the players. Like
Well, if he's
needs
got
to get better in.
he's got a week's worth of training now. Like he'll be training every day, hours on end every day.
But is
Like,
a
they'll be
week
talking
enough?
about it. But
I do.
to win, I don't know. I would. I know it probably don't sound the best on the tactical point of view, but I would just stick Smack up top and then Antonio on the left, and I think
Like I'm agreeing.
Yeah.
I'm agreeing with what you're saying. My only thing is, in my opinion, it shouldn't take as long as Moyes makes it take. I think it should take.
So let me
3
ask you this then. To me, what you're saying, yeah, we've got 5 games in August, yeah, in the Prem, yeah. We've got Man City, Forest, Brighton, Villa, and Spurs. So what game out of them 5 should Scamacca starting?
I would
Probably
I think he
say.
starts at Forest.
Two or
I
I would
think he
say
should start at Forest.
Yeah, Forest.
Forest or the
Oh.
third game.
James, I just want to say on Haaland, because I actually think when you made that, I thought of something. You say about Haaland's not being bedded in, but when I watched City yesterday, it seemed like the players on Man City didn't have a clue how to play with Haaland. Haaland's always been a transition striker. He was making so many runs in the middle, and he was getting constantly ignored. And I think after a few games of being at Man City, you'll see a completely different Erling Haaland. I think us playing them in the first game of the season is the perfect time to play Haaland because it doesn't seem like his teammates have adapted to his runs and that yet.
But then when you agree, that's the best place to learn in a match. That's the best place for a striker to learn.
How are we supposed to learn with Scamacca if he's sitting on the bench and if he comes on for 20 minutes, right? And people are looking at him and going, he ain't doing the runs.
The match isn't a training session. Like the match matters. Like the same practice.
Yeah, but what
by the way, I wouldn't be
Lucas,
fuming if Scamacca didn't start against City. I just personally would. And I completely understand if he doesn't. Like, I won't be fuming or anything. What the fuck?
He's gone. He'll be back. No, but what I'm trying to say is, Mitch, yeah, when people are saying give them time and bed them in and do this and do that, I'm thinking, do we really have time? Like, we need this man to hit the ground running now. And the only way you do that is by playing him in games and helping him adapt to and climatising it. What difference? Let me ask you lads this: what difference is giving him 60 minutes to him giving him 30 minutes? Like, there's no
Anything
difference.
can happen, and anything can happen.
I suppose, obviously, I don't disagree with James, but in a tactical point of view, Scamacca could, he's a professional footballer, he could look from the bench, watch what's going on, see how he could potentially add to the team if he sees Bowen making runs in behind off Antonio, for example, and Antonio's not seeing him. Scamacca go, all right, I see that, I'm going to come on now and make them forward passes.
Football's not as easy as just train for a week and then jump into a match.
I completely agree.
There's tactics. You got to develop a relation. Not only do you have to develop a relationship with your teammates, you have to learn how they play, how they move, when they're going to move, when they're not going to move. There's no chance. There's no shot. You learn that in a week or two. There's no shot.
I get that. I get it. I get what you're saying.
But I don't agree that it should take a month and a half, which to me is what, like with Moyes, that's what it seems how long it takes for him to implement someone into his squad.
Yeah. But what it is, though, I just asked you there, when do you start Scamacca? And you're saying to me, the very next game after City. Now,
Because,
to me...
that'll be 3 weeks for me.
3 weeks. I'll just look at it like this, mate.
Well, it's 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, ain't even 3 weeks. It's 2, isn't it? Yeah, because next week's the game and the week after, isn't it? So, when you weigh it up, I just feel when you sign someone, the fans don't want to see him on the bench; they want to see him on the pitch.
Yeah, but there's a reason why we are not in the football world, and we're not coaching professionally or giving professional advice.
So let me ask you this: if we sign Kostic, does he sit on the bench for you?
Yes.
Kostic
First match, yes.
against Man City. Kostic, do you mean, James?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, because it's already Monday now, so Monday tomorrow. Sorry, and he probably wouldn't be starting. Yeah.
Although if he signed at the same time Scamacca did, I would have started Kostic against City because I think it's a lot easier.
I can agree with that.
A left-sided player, like if he'll be playing probably left wing, I reckon.
I think it's
a lot easier for them to understand because I think as a striker, you've got to understand the movement from your midfielders, your attackers, if they run behind you.
I understand throwing someone in and just like letting them do their thing, but like it's almost like throwing a headless chicken out there. They don't know what's going on.
I've got to disagree on this one.
But how? It's tactics. You can't just.
I do agree.
You can't just throw someone out there and they know how to play. This isn't.
I'll tell you the best way of describing that. I mean, I just want to say the best way of summing that up is when I see young players coming in, who don't play regularly, and they come in and they do a job like a Harrison Ashby, for instance, or a Connor Coventry, or someone of that note. They don't need time to adapt. But they come in and they do the job.
They know the tactics. They know the system.
Like if we brought Scamacca in first game of the season, for example, and he didn't have a clue how to play. Let's just say hypothetically he didn't have a clue how we play. He wouldn't know the pressing triggers. Fornals might go, he might stay, and there might be a massive gap. He wouldn't understand what the players are like, what sort of runs should he make.
And that, what Alfie just said, that could be the difference between us winning 1-0 or losing 2-0.
I sometimes feel, this is what I personally feel, I want everyone's answer on this before we move on. I feel that some people don't want Scamacca to start because they want Antonio to start because they don't want to lose Antonio for some reason. I'm finding it's more sentimental than it is for the team. Now, for me, Scamacca is an Italian international. He's a centre forward. He's been trained by one of the best strikers to ever play the game in the Prem, by Ruud van Nistelrooy. This man is not a mug. I think he knows the centre forward role and the lines. I don't think it's going to take him 2, 3, 4 weeks to get up to speed. I really don't. The only way that is if he's not match fit. But I believe he is match fit. I believe he's ready to go tomorrow. So what I can't understand is why people are very much saying no to him now, when City's a big game. If we just think, if we come out and we beat City, then the whole fan base
just as easily as Scamacca could flourish, we could make him look like an absolute idiot on the pitch.
I don't think we could do, but I don't think he's that kind of player where he's unstable.
He's not, but he's certainly not.
Now, can I say my reason for why I personally would start him?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Even though he's controversial, and I completely understand why you wouldn't, James and Alfie. But the reason why is because if the system I would play, I think would really benefit Scamacca. I would play 4 nails just off Scamacca, so he's always got someone to knock it down. So I'd have Antonio on the left, Bowen on the right. So 2 players that would be making runs in behind like quite a bit. That's how they are.
So like a
Play Ben Rama on the
4-3-3
left.
with an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, I would play a 4-3-3. Yeah, and then with that, I think that system would suit Scamacca very well, and it is a big game, and I don't think you could say it's risky, but that's what I personally would do, and I do think Scamacca would do all right. I think if he's got support, and I think if we keep our attackers tight, if we keep our wingers very tight in that game, which is what I would do, then I think Scamacca would do all right in the game.
I obviously would be very excited if he were to start on Sunday, but I mean, he just got to the club. When did he officially get to Rush Green?
About
Last
4
Monday?
Thursday, I think it was.
Thursday.
Yeah.
I think I'll just see what Scarborough said there on there. He said if he was match fit, he would have played yesterday. I just don't think they wanted to risk him, Scarborough, if I'm honest.
No,
Oh,
he's,
yeah,
he's still like
I
sorting
don't
his
know if
things
he
out,
is,
isn't he?
mate. But what I was going to say is, I completely get people's reasoning for why they'd start Scamacca. I don't think just because he doesn't know our tactics, he'd go out there and look like the worst player since, I don't know, someone who's terrible. I don't think he'd go out there and look absolutely horrendous. But I just think like what me and Lucas said.
Exactly. That is exactly spot on. Allaire is a good striker. He didn't fit us, but I mean that could happen with Scamacca, just like that.
I don't think Haller is as good a striker as a lot of people make out to be. I think he's an alright striker. He scores tap-ins for fun. He's got no pace, the bloke. He will. If he went to any other Premier League team, he would never have made it either.
I agree. I think Scamacca's better, but like the premise is still the same. Like you just can't throw a player out there willy-nilly. Like yes, you can theoretically, but we don't want him to look like an idiot or knock his confidence because he's just running around clueless. Like he doesn't know where to pass. He doesn't know where to run because he doesn't know his teammates. He doesn't know the system.
Yeah. The best example I would give for it, Lucas, is when you watch club football compared to international football.
Yes.
International football has so many great players, but they never
so free
seem,
flowing.
like England, for example, don't seem to click like some of the players do at their club. And I think the reason for that is because we bring in players every new camp and they don't understand the system like they do at the club.
Stupid.
What's the comment?
I know. I'm
Someone's
saying
telling
it's
me to
bad.
behave. I behave. I
Come on,
am.
Lucas.
I don't think Scamacca is stupid, but he would look stupid if we just threw him out there and he had no idea what to do. Yes, he played a similar system as Cresswell, but that's not our system.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's a stupid person. But
He's sort of used with another positive comment.
Listen, I would love to see the comments. This ain't wrong with StreamYard tonight. But
I'll read it out for you, James.
I just I'm frustrated because I just don't think people are understanding. Like tactics are important. Yes, getting them on the pitch to play can only help. But what's the point in playing someone that has no chemistry with anyone opposed to someone that does? Like that could literally make the difference.
Yeah, James Razor West Ham said, "Behave, Lucas. Scamacca would never look like a mug or made to look stupid. He's top class like Kostic. If it was Moyes with Lingard, he would have played right away, and he's not even trained."
Jesse Lingard is a one-off. He's a one-off situation. Like, it was a miracle. He was literally the best player in the world for 16 games. He was better than Ronaldo and Messi. That will never happen again, ever.
Say it with your chest. Say it with your chest, Lucas. Oh dear. Anyway, yeah.
I love you, Lucas. I fucking love you.
We will move on from that because that's quite a heated topic, and we're going to talk about the goalkeepers now. All right.
Can I say quickly? Actually, I thought Lons' fans was absolutely superb yesterday. I've not seen anyone mention it, but I fucking love how amazing they were.
That was on Twitter of them having a piss up with us was quality.
Just look
Yeah.
at the fuck. It was better than the atmosphere that we had at the fucking London Stadium last year, and it was friendly. Like,
Eastside views, you are
I
fucking.
do get jealous when it comes to things like that. Oh,
Dude, this guy just chats
Oh.
utter shit.
I can't see nothing, mate.
Lucas, talking crap. Watch Lingard bang us soon. Lucas, clueless. You are fucking clueless. You're literally about to put money on Moyes being the first manager sacked.
Lucas clueless.
And I don't
That's
care
a
if
new
he's
one.
trolling or being serious.
Lucas
Like,
Clueless.
Oh
fucking
dear.
unreal.
Listen, let's talk about
Behave.
Areola and Fabianski.
Fucking
Who starts next week, Mitch?
Oh
for
no.
you?
Oh no. So, what did you say? Sorry.
Who starts next week for you, Fabianski or Areola?
Ariola all day long. If Fabianski starts, I will be absolutely furious. He's not a player that needs to be moulded in. He's been moulded in for the last fucking season now. And
I'm not gonna bite. I'm not. I'm done.
bite. Bite. But if Fabianski starts, then I think I've always said Moyes is very stubborn and he needs to be more open to I think the other coaches' ideas. But there's no way that the other coaches think that Moyes is right in starting Fabianski against City, which I think he will do, and I will be absolutely furious about it. Just because I know Moyes, and the fact that Fabianski's been starting these pre-season games as well, I think says a lot of it, which I really do not understand. Look at Ariola yesterday when he came up for this ball over the top. I thought, oh fuck, they're in here. But Ariola was on it straight away. Like I was really surprised how quick he was off his line. And Fabianski would have been he would have been, I think, would have almost got there. But I think the player probably could have taken it around Fabianski if that was Fabianski in that position.
Oh, he would have still been in London. He wouldn't have even come out at all.
Yeah, he might have. Yeah, true. He might not even come out at all. But I think for me, Ariola's quite a bit better than Fabianski now. At the start of last season, I understood because Fabianski did have a good season overall last season, especially at the start. He still played well. But as the season went on, I think the gap between Ariola and Fabianski, I think every time Ariola played, especially in the second half of the season, he looked very good. And then Fabianski was getting worse and worse. So, yeah, I will be furious.
West Ham Online, what do you think of that? Fabianski or Areola?
Well, I'd just like to say, first of all, I am willing to put about £10 million. Like, I genuinely put my life on the line that Fabianski will start. And I agree with Mitch. It's been obvious by the lineups in pre-season, and even when I went and watched the games, like when they're doing the goalie training, it's always Fabianski who starts it off, and little things like that. He always just seems to be the favourite. But I'd start Areola. I agree with Mitch. When Areola came out quickly yesterday, it was a great sight to see, and I almost had a heart attack seeing my goalie come 6 yards off his line because I haven't seen it in months. The Polish Pritt stick would have still been on his goal line. He probably would have still been in London. He should not be our goalie anymore. He should play Conference and Carabao Cup. He's 37. His kicking's abysmal. Like, the ball gets passed back to him and he has options to the right and he'll just launch it long, and it's so frustrating. And then when the ball goes over the top, he literally has the running pace of a dead cat, and he can't claim. He's too slow now. He's way too slow.
Well, I was going to ask Lucas, but he's decided to go to.
I don't know if did he actually leave?
I don't think he's. I think he is. He's back. He's back in the room.
Right. I thought in the back of my mind, I thought, I fucking hope he ain't like got emotional and like left.
Lucas, don't get emotional. Lucas, talk to me.
No,
Got emotional a minute ago.
No, I don't get emotional. I would be quite fuming if Areola didn't start. I mean, I don't know what more he has to do, honestly. And we all know he's better at Fabianski than every single aspect of goalkeeping. Maybe besides penalties. Maybe.
I think claiming Kostic, I think
penalties.
Fabianski's slightly better.
Yeah, penalties. Areola. I think Areola saved one penalty in his whole career.
But I mean,
let's have a half time. You know what I mean, count, Scott. I think he's done it about 3 times so far. But next time I will have a little notepad by myself and just like do a little tally, and I'll announce it at the end how many he said.
But
But he's been
but,
quite good today.
but Areola
Mike-
has to start. He's quick. He's so quick in distribution. He's just as good as a shot stopper. He's just as good as coming out to claim a ball off corners. He's just as good at catching a ball. And I mean, he's younger, more athletic. What more do we need?
His diving is superb. Like his shot stopping ability is
And people
one of the
don't-
best in the league, in my opinion.
People
I
don't
think he's
realize
very good.
Yeah.
Areola has been waiting to break out, and I'm not joking. He's had world-class potential. He's France's number 2. He's literally been a backup at Real Madrid, PSG.
He was amazing at Fulham.
All he needs is 1 or 2 seasons to break out, and people would possibly consider him one of the best keepers in the world.
But don't you find though? I'm listening to what you're all saying, but don't you find it'd be a failure on Moyes' part if Fabianski starts in the season?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with
100%.
Mitch, though. It would be a massive failure, but if all 4 of our coaches are sat there and none of them have realised that Fab's not our best goalie, then I don't even know anymore, because it's not one of them situations where I'd normally go, yeah, the coaches know better. I'm sorry, Fab is crap. He's a Polish prickstick. He is nowhere near Areola. I agree with Lucas. And Fabianski, even at the end of last season, he even started making mistakes with shot stopping. Arsenal, header at his near post, and he had a hole in his hand. Norwich, corner comes in, he drops the ball, and it's the easiest catch I've ever seen since catching a game of pool. Chelsea, even the penalty they got, I thought if he was quick off their line, it would never have happened. He is useless now.
Yeah,
I agree.
Bang on.
I agree with you. For me, like, to make it short and sweet, if Ariola is a number 1 next week, I'm going to go mad. I will. I'll literally lose the plot completely.
And I can't tell you why, but one Fabianski save, he saved it, but it wasn't great. The one that still like really just pisses me off is when we played United and Ronaldo it wasn't even a bullet header. He just headed the ball towards him at his boots, and he muffed it, and then Ronaldo just tapped it in off the rebound. Like we could have easily drawn that game or won if that.
And why does it, whenever there's a shot above him, does he like do the BLM? He always goes to his knees all the time. Honestly, watch whenever a shot goes above him. The man.
BLM. I was thinking what that was then. That's fucking brilliant. Dorino, what is that sauce, by the way?
Have it. Russ is saying this, yeah. Moyes is too loyal with some of the senior players and hangs on to them for too long. I agree.
100%. That is, James. You know me. I've been saying it since January. Fucking know it.
That fucking fat figure out of the camera.
Get those big sausages out my face.
100%. Everyone hit the like button. That would do me wonderful, please. Listen.
Wait, real quick. I just have to ask because Mitch did it. Does it annoy anyone when people point at you? I know a lot of people hate when people point at them.
No, I do it all the time, to be honest. I always point at people.
I don't do it, but it also doesn't annoy me. I just know that triggers a lot of people.
Yeah, sometimes I don't like it. If I'm at work and I'm having an argument with someone, Mitch, come in now. You say, why the fuck you say that? And I'd be like, okay, it's fucking, what's going on here then?
You know why? I fucking said that.
Go on. Oh, yeah.
Freddie says here, yeah.
I never do it.
I've just tuned, I think that's in there. So how likely is it that you guys think Kostic is based on the latest updates? What do you think the chances are, basically?
I think
PS.
it's ridiculous that we're trying to go back in for him after he just said he didn't want to come.
Yeah.
It makes
Hold on a minute.
I agree with the last bit, James. She was hilarious last night.
Are you surprised about going back in for him? We went in for Jesse Lingard 4 fucking times.
Yeah, mate.
Well, he ain't
Moyes has got
Lingard.
this problem with like holding on to players, and I think not moving on, being adaptive, being on the ball,
I think
changing his preferences.
I think he's autistic because he's like got one of these things where he doesn't ever want change.
Mate, 100%. He might have that.
Even this change, even when Warburton suggested a system change, I reckon he fainted.
They could clash this season, you know, Warburton and Thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. To move on to the sort of last section of tonight's show, are we really ready next week for Manchester City? When you look at the team, like yesterday, I looked at Angelo Bonner live.
What's
And
the
he-
sauce, boys?
Right, the sauce is tomato ketchup, Mitch. Fucking listen, right?
Why? Fucking tell me, because I'm getting eager to know. I want to know.
Taylor, what?
Right.
Oh, right, yeah.
Angelo Bonner is not fit. So are we really ready for City?
Nah, no, really not. I
No,
think
but
we'll
they're
lose.
not ready either. Neither of us are ready, but they're just better. So they'll be the better of the
Our
non-ready.
only advantage is that we've played more preseason matches than them, and they seem to have one or two players that are either. Well, I know Laporte is out for 3 months, and Phil Foden is not 100%. So,
Oh,
and
they screwed up
Bernardo
the schedule.
Silva could be on the move at any moment. So, again, this is like a free hit. This is a free hit. I don't care if we lose 3-0, 4-0, as long as we go out there and try and win.
See, when I hear this, he goes, "Are we ever ready for City?" Well,
No.
I'm not being funny enough. In the last 2 times we played City at the LS, we haven't lost.
The one fucking match that
So-
we didn't lose when I was over there was that match. Thank God.
And I just think, like, when people say, "Are we ready?" Well, we should be ready. We've had a fucking 3 months to be ready, surely.
We should be, but it's in terms of personnel, we aren't, in my opinion.
In terms of personnel, we're as ready as we can be.
Well,
But-
not really. If we're a bit more urgent in the transfer window.
Well, circumstances applying, I think we're as ready as we can be. Like Scamacca, if he came in when he did, there's no way he starts. If we got Kostic the same time, maybe he could have started. I don't know, but I'm not totally down on us against City. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to go into the match thinking we're going to win it. I'm going to have my guard up, but I mean, I think we definitely can shithouse a draw with our setup. And I mean, who knows? We've been criticizing some players in preseason. We do have to remember these are professional athletes. They are wired differently than us. They could easily have an on-off switch that we do not know about, and they just turn it up on match
But the
day.
players in that discussion, for me, especially
Great comment,
Rama
this is.
and Cresswell, they looked shit
Yeah.
in pre-season, and they
Yeah.
were also really shit in the second half of last season.
Right?
I agree.
I just want to get to this comment quickly, yeah? We let City off the hook a few times recently, which is bang on.
Who don't we let off the hook is my question.
Norwich.
Yeah, we've done it in Norwich.
Oh,
do you?
that's-
I say
and,
that.
and Aston
Yeah.
Villa. And Aston
Villa, we
Villa.
never let Villa off. We always give Villa a really good game, actually.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Leicester. Leicester's
Yeah,
another one.
Leicester.
Leicester.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And even
Yeah,
Newcastle
I mean,
to a
that's
point.
one.
That's another
Sorry.
one on there. Do you know what I mean? But
That made-
yeah,
that
again,
made Mitch
again.
giggle.
But obviously, right, when I weigh it up, like next week's game, when you've now pre-season's all over and it's done, right? What is the starting lineup for next week for these lads? You've seen pre-season, you've seen all the players, you've analysed everyone. I've seen Mitch's lineup earlier on. I didn't agree with it, but I can understand it. So I'm going to go around everyone because this is it now. Next Sunday,
Mitch knows.
Man
Connor
City.
Commentary is a star boy. He knows.
yeah.
He knows.
So
Him or
Mitch, I'm
Dams? Well, obviously,
I'm
we'll
gonna-
come to that.
going to let you go first on this.
Okay.
Right? Next
Thank
week
you.
is it? It's the beginning. So
Mhm.
what you've seen in pre-season, right, and be as ruthless as you want. What's our 11?
Okay. First of all, I just want to say it is probably the best time to play Man City. I do agree with that. And that is a positive thing if we want to talk about it. I just hope it doesn't, if we get like a battering, I hope it doesn't affect us for the Nottingham Forest game. If we also sit back,
That is it. Yeah.
which
agree.
I think we should do, which is why I'm
To a
on a
certain
plan zone in
point
the
in
week,
the match.
especially. Huh?
I would say to a certain point in the match, like what you
Yeah.
just said, we should sit back. But once it approaches like the 60th, 65th minute, I would love to see us maybe try and turn it
Yeah.
on them.
Because City
Yeah,
ain't
I'm
invincible. Like, we've scored goals against City. Whenever we've like really gone for them, we've always ended up scoring goals against them. So my
We're our
starting
own
lineup.
worst enemy, is what I always say.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah.
I'm not.
We
with
let
his
so
hat,
many
just
clubs
do it.
off the hook. We
100%.
really do.
I agree.
So what's your 11, Mitch? And what I want, I don't just want your 11. I want you to sort of no injuries, but in the game, what subs are coming on and everything. I'm going to go through with everyone tonight before I go. So, what's your 11? Now, do you see the game going? And if Scamacca ain't playing, when does he get on the pitch?
Okay, all right, sweet. So, I personally would play like this. I would not be bothered at all if Scamacca didn't start. I completely understand it. It's just what I would personally do and how I would set up. I would sit back as much as we kind of can, not like completely sit deep, but sit deep and press the players from the front. I'd play a back four I'd play Areola in goal, Soufal, Zuma on the right, not on the left, because I think he's much worse on the left side of the centre back partnership. Dawson on the left centre back. I would play Johnson left back because of the reasons why I'm about to say. Rice and Coventry would not mind Dan's either. It's 50-50. I just think Coventry's showing that he can pass the ball well forward. Just he intrigues me a bit. So I play Rice, Coventry midfield. I play Fornals just in front of them. I would then play. No, sorry. I play a midfield kind of two just in front of Rice of Fornals and Coventry, and then I would play a front three of Antonio on the left, Scamacca up top, Bowen on the right. Because then we can do some really good damage with hitting them on the counter. If we had to hoof it forward from the back, if we felt under pressure, Scamacca knocking them down, and having Antonio and Bowen making runs on, I think that would be a good system. And I don't think that's a game where. This is another reason for why I start Scamacca, because it's not like we're taking the game to them. And it's not like Scamacca's going to be in the box all the time, having chances, being put under pressure. He's just going to be, just doing his job will basically be having knockdowns, holding the ball up, and then passing it forward, which I don't think he'd be too under pressure or crumble under pressure for. And it's not too hard to understand that. Yeah, that's the system. And I wouldn't play Souček. The reason for that is because I honestly do not think he's good enough. I don't think he's good at passing forward. I think if it did come to it where in the last 30 minutes of the game we was trying to break City down, or we was losing 2-0 and we took it to him, if Souček was playing, we'd be absolutely fucked as always, because he'd be getting to the box by himself. Rice would be the only midfield player, and it would just be side to side, mate. And if you had Coventry in there, you could mix it up a bit. You could be playing 1-2s with Fornals, maybe off the striker, Scamacca. Look at the pass Coventry done yesterday for Bowen.
Absolute peak.
Souček could even dream of doing something like that, and he created a big chance. I don't think it's ever seen Souček do that. And for me, that is just why I'd play Coventry. Any kind of player like Coventry, obviously we need someone better like Onana, but any kind of player like that, I think we need in the team over Souček. I personally do not understand why everyone wants Souček to start. I really don't see, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. It was absolutely fucking terrible yesterday. Like, for me, it was the worst player on the pitch, and then it was Johnson. I know some people disagree, but I personally, if I was put in those situations, I believe I would have done better than he done yesterday. Like, he could not play. He played like a fucking 4-year-old schoolboy. It was absolutely terrible.
Right, all right, Mitch. All right, fair enough. Lucas, starting 11, subs, etc.
So I think we're gonna go a back five, but I think my backup or my back five would be a bit different. I would do I'm gonna go against my own judgment and have faith Areola starts.
James, you all right?
I'm good.
I'm gonna say Areola starts. I would go Soufal right wing back, Zuma right center half, Dawson center half. Then I would put Ben Johnson left center half, Cresswell left wing back. I know it's fucking disgusting. I know. And then I would run 3 in the midfield with Rice, Fornals, Souček, and then I would have Antonio and Bowen as. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a strike partnership, but like it's 2 up top.
mate, that left side would really struggle if we was passed it down left-hand side. I think we'd really struggle with that.
Mitch, I don't know what else we could do.
Well, my setup, I think that's glorious, personally. But
What did you
Your
say your back line
Your
was?
sale gets us relegated, Mitch.
I back four with fucking dope. So the way I play, I play sitting back and then try and hit them with numbers on the counter. Soufal, Zuma, Dawson, and Johnson.
Yeah. I just want to get to Mike's comment, yeah? Then I'm going to get to West Ham Online. Areola, Kafal, Zuma, Dawson, Johnson. Rice, Fornells, Benny, Bowen, Antonio, Scamacca.
I wouldn't mind that. Bit ambitious.
I'd
Oh,
rather
dangerous.
die
in
than
my
see-
subs, I think obviously depending
let's
on
be
how
honest,
the match
though, yeah?
goes.
That's a counter-attacking side, let's be real.
Yeah.
We-
Let's say counter attack. I think it's a possession based side more so. I think if you're playing,
Can't do that
Fornells,
against
Benny, and
City.
Bowen. Yeah, I don't personally agree with that. But if we did play that, I'd be excited if we played that exact lineup.
I would
It'd
say
be risky.
I would say my subs, obviously circumstances depending. Let's say if the match is drawn up 0-0, 1-1, and it's like the 65th minute, I'd bring Scamacca on, maybe Benny as well for Fornells, just to spark things up a little bit. But yeah, that's what I can see. But yeah, I mean, the back line, I really could care less what it is because we're fucked either way. In my
West Ham
eyes.
Online.
Areola in goal, right centre back Zuma, central centre back Craig Dawson, left centre back Aaron Cresswell, left wing back Pablo Fornells, left centre mid Rice, right centre mid Souček, right wing back Soufal, and then I'll do a front three of Ben Rama, Antonio, and Bowen.
I don't mind that either. I mean,
Would you play left at the back? Sorry.
Cresswell.
I just hate him playing center
It's not
half.
terrible.
Scamacca comes on in the 73rd minute.
Scores
Sorry.
the winner.
If we're
73rd
winning,
minute.
if we're winning, Diop, Masuaku, and two other clowns come on in the 93rd minute to waste
I
time.
could flex.
Yeah, you can have 10 seconds.
My team is this.
Go on,
Areola.
James.
Right back, Kafal, Zuma, Dawson. It's going to have to be Cresswell because we've got no one else. I agree with what Mike said about Fornells as the third midfielder. We need midfielders with energy. So if you've got Fornells, Souček, and Rice in there, you've got some strength. Right? I know Mitch is not a fan of Souček, but I can understand that. And up front, I do like Antonio, Bowen, and Scamacca. I think Scamacca needs to start this game. If you want to get the man in, get the man in. It's a free hit. Give him an hour, see how he does. Right. We're not expected to win this game.
He might be a bit frightened.
Yeah, but do you think Antonio's
He's
going to
Italian.
be able to go?
Italians don't get frightened of anything. You know what I mean? So
My only issue with that lineup is we need an impact sub at striker, and I don't think Antonio's going to give us hit the full Antonio for 90 minutes. I'd rather see Scamacca or Antonio come off the bench along with Benny, Vlasic, Masuaku, whoever. I don't give a fuck.
That's
Yeah,
what
I've
we
got
do
five
need,
subs.
really, a third striker, mate. We do need another striker.
yeah.
I wouldn't mind starting Vlasic as well, left wing.
Left wing.
Because he'll be inverted, won't he? If I do a 3-4-3 and he's if I do a 3-4-3 and Fornells is out wide, he can sort of play inwards like what Bowen does.
Yeah.
So I say left wing on paper, but he's coming inside almost like a left cam.
Interesting. So you got four sets of opinions there. None of us can agree. So that's the worry.
I like it. That's good. I like it. I don't think anyone's off the mark.
Can I just make a relevation? Can I say what I think the lineup will be?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go on.
Jockey.
Fabianski, Dawson, right centre back, Zuma, Cresswell, Masuaku, Rice, Souček, Soufal, Ben Rama. Oh no, not Ben Rama. Fornals, Antonio, Bowen. I genuinely
See,
think
I
that's
think,
right.
Real
I
quick.
think that as well.
I don't think that's a bad lineup, only because Masuaku at least at left wing back. Yes, I know what everyone's thinking. I know our thoughts, but he will at least provide something more than what Aaron Cresswell will going forward. At least, bare minimum. If you would rather see Aaron Cresswell at left wing back than Masuaku, I've got words.
It would be
I'd
so
said that you
rather not
West
see
played
him
left wing
Alvin
back.
It would
Mazuaku
be
on the
so
pitch,
West Ham
mate.
to start him and then sell him 2 days later.
Oh, mate, I'd rather not see Alvin Mazuaku anywhere near the shirt, let alone on the pitch. I can't have Alvin Mazuaku playing, mate. I really
can't-
can't.
I think he
I
might
can't
though.
have
I
Aaron
do-
Cresswell at left center half. That's diabolical.
I genuinely think Masuaku will play. Like,
Can I ask everyone a
I
question here?
think he might.
If that lineup comes out next week, what do you think the reaction of Twitter will be? I think
It
we're
will
going
be-
to a complete
I
meltdown.
think we'll
But,
be very happy.
but it's going to be really toxic because it's going to be all the fucking fairies that are going to be going, oh, but it's only the first game of the season and that. Oh, you're being negative before the first game of the season. But like, we can have an opinion. But these people that say that, like, we can have an
Yeah.
opinion on how we think we should be setting up beforehand, which we spoke about.
Yeah.
So if Masuaku does start, if I start seeing these fairy fuckers, and I know the main culprits on Twitter, I was about to say a name then. Anyway, so if I start
Say
seeing
a
people
name,
say,
Mitchell.
oh, come on, how can we like slating a team lineup already? And then Masuaku's starting, which I think he will. I think I do agree. Then I think the person should go support Leighton Orient or something, or fucking Dagenham Radbridge.
Hey, watch.
He will
watch.
start.
That's my local.
Have we all realised Masuaku's literally started 2 games in a row at left wing?
I know. And that's the
Wait,
worrying
He's been
sign about
fucking
that.
diabolical.
Alfie, can you get
And these will be the fucking people that won't have watched the pre-season games. They come on, they'll see all the negativity, and
They start digging you out.
Alfie?
they
Alfie,
will. They
Fucking
fucking
yes,
will.
man.
They fucking will.
Alfie, what was your back line again? Can you tell me?
What that I think Moyes
Yeah.
will play? Or,
Yeah, what you think?
Dawson right centre back, which would be the worst idea ever.
Zuma left.
Zuma in the middle, which is also one of the worst ideas ever. And then Cresswell left centre back.
Yeah,
I'd
Zuma
rather
should
see-
not be
I'd
playing
I'd
centre.
rather
don't
see
think-
Ben Johnson left center half.
I don't think Cress is bad as the third centre half, left sided.
Yeah, I don't.
I don't
I think he's
either.
all right.
I don't think he's that bad. Listen,
How?
But then the left,
He's
if you
alright,
play
though.
that, then the left wing back option
Yeah.
position becomes a
And our
massive
left wing
problem. Then.
back's headless.
oh,
So how
he
can you
plays
play
left-
back 5? I don't get it. Like,
You would not look at that team and think that's competing for Europe, would you?
mate, you
No.
think that team's about
and this
lucky to
is
stay
this is
league?
the point. This is the point that I think me and James are making. Like,
Yeah.
we aren't ready yet for the start of the pre-season, for the start of the season.
Yeah.
And like, the games are coming now, and we're talking about now. I'm not saying I still think we're going to finish 8th or 7th.
Mm.
We could even finish 6th. I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm talking about now. We aren't ready now, and I'm not absolutely fuming about it, about how the season will start. I just think we're going to struggle at the start of the season if we don't get these players in, which we haven't.
What you're saying is,
All I'm saying
so-
is if I see Aaron Cresswell concede one more goal from behind him, I'm gonna have a fucking meltdown. That's all.
Yeah,
I
Do you
but-
know what it will be as well? West Ham will tweet out, here's your lineup. King Arthur starts, Fab's in goal.
Yeah. Oh, don't. I will,
Stay tuned
I will
next
be,
week, mate, if
I'll
that's
be
the case.
5 pints steep, and I'll just jump off the bridge, near the stadium.
this is a
Me
good
and
point.
my pals will just be holding hands together and go, "Boys, it's been a pleasure." We'll all
You'll
jump
get
off
some
together.
65-year-old idiot.
I'm just saying, I want to get to that comment quickly, yeah? But listen, I agree with what Mitchell just said there quickly, right? I'm not being negative when I say that. Like someone said it to me today on Twitter. They go, we've got 5 weeks to the window. But we play 7 games before the window shuts. And I think people are forgetting that these are, and this is where it leads on to this question, 7 hard games, right? We've got 2 conference games that we don't know who we're going to get. So that's going to be a new dawn.
Okay, hold on. There's been an update apparently on Kostic.
I've not
Yes,
Right.
that's what I said earlier, but I wanted to know the fucking sauce. And people saying
Nothing's
XP
popped
and
up for
ketchup
me.
and all that. I just want to.
No.
I want to know if it's Alfredo Puella.
Right, can I just get to
Fabrizio.
this point? Right, I ain't worried about Kostic because he's not a player of ours yet.
Well, Grimaldo
Right,
is
so-
apparently a target.
So
X.
what I'm trying to say is, don't
Who?
you realise that
Lucas? Who,
X,
Lucas?
X said that Alex Grimaldo of Benfica is on the list of targets identified.
it ain't happening, mate.
Oh,
It ain't,
what's
it
up?
ain't
And
fucking
the
happening. I'm
guy's
telling you
the
that now.
guy's
Talking
source
shit,
said-
yeah?
Kane would be
Oh shit, it just
fuming.
come up.
It
Oh, that
ain't
ain't
happening.
popped up for me. Can you read it out?
If I can, yeah. All right, let me fucking.
Oh, by the way, James, I've got to go in 13 minutes for Love Island.
That's fine, mate. No worries.
Can you hear
I'm
me
wrapping
still?
this up in a minute.
Yeah.
I can hear you, Mitch, but I want to try and get to this point. How hard these first
I
5
got
Premier
you.
League
You,
games are.
you speak about first, and then I'll tell you about the
go
update.
on then.
You know what I'm saying? So, well, look at them 5 games.
You know what I'm
Look at
saying?
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Go on, then speak about it first. Go on.
Right, look at them 5 games. We've got City first, then we've got Forest away. People think we're just going to go to Forest and win. That's going to be tough. Right, and it's going to be emotionally involved there,
Motivational
Especially-
match though.
You better
especially
be
with
booing
Lingard's
him,
situation.
Mitch, you better
Huh?
boo him.
Pardon?
You better boo
Oh,
Lingard.
100%. 100%.
Are you going, Mitch?
I don't. What Forest?
Yeah,
Forest,
he is,
yeah.
yeah. He
Yeah.
won the ballot.
Right,
Mm.
and then we've got Brighton, who we've never beaten in the Premier League era, right? Ever. Yeah.
True.
And then we've got Villa, who, fair enough, we've got a good record there. And then we've got Spurs in the London derby. This is
And
not
Chelsea,
exactly.
and Chelsea right after that.
And
It's not
Chelsea
easy,
straight
but
after.
that ain't the end of the world, in my opinion.
So name what would be a worse lineup than that? Let's have one though.
Worse,
Yeah.
Man City, Liverpool, Spurs, Chelsea, and United all 5 games in a row.
Well, we've got Chelsea, Tottenham in the first 6. So, and we've got a team that
You
we've
know
never
what?
beaten.
You've actually got a fair decent point there, James. To be fair, they're all
It's tough.
tough games. They all are tough games. To be
Yeah,
fair.
but every
really
game
tough.
in the Premier League
Is it sad? I'd
tough,
rather play
apart from-
United than Brighton.
But
Yeah.
I get it, Alfie. But there's not one game in there where I think, all right, that should be a game where we should pretty much beat
Yeah.
them.
There's no Bournemouth, who are going to be the
So-
easiest 3 points.
So West Ham
we've ever
online. So name me a game out of them 5 that you are confident that we're going to go and win.
seen.
Really,
Villa,
I would agree.
because
I would
Steven
agree,
Gerrard's
Villa.
a fraud.
Right, but that's the only one at the minute that I feel. Like the Forest game, I just think that's going to be their first game at the City Ground in the Prem.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
draw
Rocking.
all over it. That is draw all over it, that game.
Hmm.
All right, shall I
Well,
do the
what-
update?
Go on, do the update before we go.
Can you hear me still? Just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sort the
Okay,
camera out.
dokie. Here we go. As reported earlier, Moyes has asked the club to put in an improved offer for the Serbian international, Filip Kostic, and had placed faith in Scamacca's agent, who represents both players, Alessandro Lucci, in persuading the player. The player had wanted to either join an Italian giant or remain at Frankfurt, play in the Champions League, and then become a Bosman at the end of the season. It's believed that Lucci is trying his best to convince the player to be open to a move to West Ham if the Italian move does not happen. And that a new improved financial offer has been made to him as of today to try and persuade him to sacrifice the Bosman option and make it appear that
we're
he will
basically
gain
holding him
nothing
captive.
financially from this if he waits a year. It's expected that we will be clever in the next few days, although the player is very indecisive at the moment, and as a
No, come back.
No,
Mitch.
Mitch, you've
Come
gone.
back.
So we're basically trying to hold Kostic captive. The man's like, no, don't put me anywhere near it. And his agent is like, yes, you're going there.
He's
Yes.
balking. He'll get out of it. He'll come.
Lucci's a legend.
To be continued by Mitchell. That's what I'm going to say on that. I don't know where Mitch is, but listen, I don't believe it. I really don't. I really
What don't you believe?
I just don't believe it's going to happen, mate.
Oh, okay.
I just don't think it's going to happen, mate. If I'm being honest, like we've tried for this geezer, he's turned around and said no to us. I don't think more money is going to sway him. Like I think teams are in for him
Agreed.
now, and loads of money doesn't change it. Do you know what I'm saying? But Mitch, you there?
Hang
yeah.
on. Downs.
Mitch, you're
Vlasic,
smiling.
and-
What's going on, mate? Makes a change.
Oh,
Oh, you
Mitchell,
can't.
nice comment. Nice comment
Thank-
about you from Pipeless. Put it up, James.
Oh my God. Sweet.
I like that, Mitchell. He seems like a really sweet and respectable.
Those men
The
from
manager's made it
Warrenburg.
very clear that he wishes to sign a left-sided player, and this is why they've gone again for Kostic and targeting the before other medias. There are other targets being identified. These include Bernardo Sosa, who's a lot of competition, Alex Grimaldo of Benfica, Maxwell Cornet of Burnley, and although he is close to joining other clubs, and David Hanko of Sparta Prague sounds shit. As we're doing daily updates, we're also revisiting Onana, blah, blah, blah. There's still a big valuation difference, blah, blah, blah. Lille could be tempted to consider the offers, blah, blah. I've also been asked about Irish midfield forward Odebeko. He has a minor ankle injury. Good, don't give a fuck about him. It's a Diop. He's becoming frustrated with the future up there. He's been frustrated. Good. What's the West London estimated offer to 20 million? Good. I hope they do. The club expect to release the third kit in the next few days. We'll update you as things happen.
End it there. You know, when next update is done when you start reading about the under-6 Irish international signing from Livingston.
Yeah, I know. That's when enough's enough. And I agree with his comment from Scott. Just to wrap it up, I must admit, I would Sosa's quality, but Ram was total class. So I agree on that.
I've got to agree with what Piper's just.
Yeah,
the latest Piper's coming up.
Can I read that out?
I'm wrapping it.
Please read it out. I love it.
Okay.
Mr.
Mitchell, you got it. You got it, Alfie, if you want it.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Mitchell, your voice is hardly angelic, though, but I'm sure you're kind and generous to the unprivileged people.
Thank you.
Fair enough.
Really do appreciate that.
Mitch. Whatever he says. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up there. I want to thank all the boys for coming on tonight. I really do appreciate it. Please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Do you know what I'm saying? What will happen next week will remain to be seen. What will happen next week in transfers wise will remain to be seen. But we need some players. We need a left back. We need a centre half. And that's no joke. It's not me being negative. It's me being real.
You know what I mean?
We need a centre half. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't know what you're saying. I know what you mean, though.
That is what I'm going to say. So yeah, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, from me to you.
Do you know what I mean?
The boys will see you in the next one.
mean.
And one more word about the Warriors, and you won't come back here again. Anyway, bye for now.
There it is. I've never found a love like this. There it is. I've never found a love